I believe we are live on launch day. Live on launch day. Very exciting. So, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. It might be nighttime, it might be daytime for launch, whatever it is for you. But it is indeed launch day, night, midday, whatever it is. So, welcome everybody. It's amazing to be here. It's amazing to have you all here. It's amazing to have Kevin, Matthew, Cody on as well. I believe Mike's on his way. So, huge day. Obviously, how's everybody feeling?
Really good. Yeah, really good. I just want to say a massive thank you to the community. It's a massive milestone, a huge congratulations to Kevin and the dev team, for the work that they've put in to get to this part and the amazing tech, right, that L1X infrastructure is. And it's just so exciting to have launch day and get into this next phase of ecosystem growth where the tech can be, really showcased through the applications. So massive, and I do want to give a bit of a shout out to Mark, who ran the recent community AMA. I know we popped in yesterday and talked to the community that were on there. Great chat, great community. I think we're pretty blessed to have the kind of people in the community that we do, right? And just an exciting time. And we're just talking about this before with Kevin and Mike and everyone. It's just started now. It really is the start of something pretty cool. So what we're going to discuss today, launch day, we're going to go through. I'm going to let Kevin talk a little bit about the journey of L1X up to this point. We're going to discuss a few details about the launch day for people who are investing, Bitmart, all these sort of things as well. We're going to also talk about building on L1X. So what's coming out for developers, for projects, the grants program as well. We're going to talk about the campaign, the Token Builder campaign we're running through May. And we're going to have a little talk about the roadmap as well. What does the future look like? What are some of the things that are coming through the roadmap? But I think it's a great time to probably start with the man of the moment, the creator of all this, Kevin. So yeah, Kevin, please.
Oh wow! First of all, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. And it's an important day for sure. It's an important day. And I think these kind of days are, one of the eventual outcomes that we will always have, right, as a project. And more importantly, I think, I've always been building technology, but what's so different about layer one is the dedication and the commitment that you get to see from the community, right? So you take any company, the most important thing for them is the loyalty and the respect that their customers and users have towards the company and their products or services. With layer one, the moment we started the marketing, and I would like to also mention over here that I brought in Matthew and Mike, who have been instrumental in establishing the whole infrastructure for the operations and the marketing, right? And without the both of them, and of course then Cody, Joe, coming into the team, without the both of them and the team, I don't think so this day would be possible so quick. I would of course delay it, as I am known to delay things, waiting for the right moment, so that we can get things done correctly. But thank you to the community who have shown utmost dedication, patience, and have been always there at each and every step since 2023 January. And these moments, I think, are great. And today, of course, the coin is listing on Bitmart exchange, but it's one of the exchanges, and more to come in the next 6 to 10 months. So it's a great day to get started with the exchange side of things. But more importantly, the vision and the purpose of the technology was always to be the connector, the unifying factor of all the other technologies in Web3 today. And that vision and that purpose is still there. So it's pretty hard to build an infrastructure that does not compete, but at the same time takes a big chunk out of other people's portfolio. But at the same time, I guess it has come to life, and it doesn't it excites me so much that what I decided, sitting down alone in an office, after I exited my second company, I sat down alone in the office and thought about this with UWA. It's come to life, and today people are going to buy and sell the coins. So I'm very excited about it, but more importantly, this is the first step towards something bigger, right? So we have come out of a phase, we are getting into another phase, and I think now is when um, the validation from the other community members will also play a very important role. And that's why for the next 6 to 12 months, all we will do is we will focus on the core infrastructure, making it robust, making it solid, so that we don't have to worry too much about the distribution, the experts, the vesting, the cliff, right? And focus more on the core, so that in the next 6 to 12 months, we know that we are one of the infrastructures out there in the multi-chain space that actually work, and people will gradually understand the importance of it. And that is when I think explosion happens. So thank you.
Yeah, 100%. And that's the exciting part of it. It is the applications building and using the infrastructure, whether they're an application building natively on L1X or they're connecting to the Xtalk technology from another chain that we're connected to. There's so many different ways and so many different opportunities for projects anywhere to be able to expand their use case, their user base, their access to liquidity, their innovation in terms of being able to send messages cross-chain between smart contracts and non-EVM. There's just so many of these things that can be done. I thought then let's talk a little bit about, and thank you for that, Kevin, let's talk a little bit about launch day. A couple of things we'll go through. So with the vesting, the distributor will be activated at 4 p.m. AWST, right, which is about 8 a.m. So the vesting will start to go out at 8 a.m. UTC, and people will be able to start to see their allocations coming out from then. Of L1X coin in the wallet will also then be updated at that time as well. And from there, people will have their coins. Obviously, with the centralized exchange for buyers and traders, Bitmart will be up as well. And maybe Cody might want to talk a little bit about Bitmart and also the MEXC updates as well.
Yeah, for sure. As Machu has stated, with the Bitmart, we have some great marketing campaign and activities that are going to be aligned around that as well. So just be kind of watching Discord and Twitter for those links that are going to come out. So as soon as we have the public listing page up on Bitmart, we will definitely get that over to you guys so that you can go start checking it out. Likewise, we just had an update with MEXC just a few minutes before we jumped on here. We are definitely getting very, very close. So we're actually on the tail end of it. Just a few minor changes that we need to do to the Explorer that they've requested us to do. And once we get those changes updated and they've been able to kind of test it on their end, we will definitely have MEXC up and ready to go. So good news on those two fronts. So like I said, just be if you're kind of getting into the groove of the launch day, just kind of be watching for us. We're going to be announcing some things coming out with Bitmart here shortly. So
yeah, awesome. And in terms of also the on-chain trading, so from the liquidity aspect, swapping on-chain with L1X. So that will happen when the first DEX is up. We'll apply the liquidity. The DEX will also have the swap integrated into that DEX, and then on-chain trading can happen, buying and selling and trading of L1X coin through the decks, through the first decks that is up. We've got a couple of DEX teams working now. So the first one of those that come up, we can then apply the liquidity there, and we'll keep you updated on that through our communication with the teams in terms of launch days for them. So that's coming as well. But I think what's kind of cool about this next phase is really it's the build phase, right? It's the growing of the ecosystem and building out. So there's a few things that we'll be releasing as well this week for developers and for projects as well to start to go through and integrate and build. We've got a long list of projects that are extremely excited about building on L1X. I know Mike's got an Excel spreadsheet that he's got to probably scroll 10 times to look at. And then Kevin, I even think, what was it? You were mentioning some amount of downloads that we had. What was that regarding from the dev side as well?
Yeah. So with regards to building on L1X, you need two important things. One is, the SDK, which is basically taking, your contract and being able to build something that you can put on the chain. And the second one is interacting with that contract. So we did publish both of these things, and we did not tell anyone that we published it, but in less than 72 hours, we had 600 downloads by developers, unique downloads. It's gone to more than 1,500 now. So it's good to know that developers are out there. We didn't even, there is a keyword, like a notifier. So maybe they had a keyword notifier on, and we implemented that. So it's good that 1,500 developers have already downloaded and they're trying it out. But more importantly, once we have the dev portal released, we'll do it in a more structured way.
Yeah. Now let me kind of give you guys a bit of an alpha glimpse into the dev portal, project portal, and then also Mike will go through a bit of the ecosystem grant. So let me share. I'll just share some briefly the interfaces for dev portal and project portal. Let me just see if I can present here. And I'll just take you guys through so you can see that. Where are we? So, okay, let's have a look. Just trying to find the right one. Oh, yeah. Okay, brilliant. Can you guys see that?
Sure can.
Excellent. So for developers, Kevin and the team will be releasing the developer portal this week. And so for developers, what we're creating here, and this will continue to evolve, is a portal where developers can come in. They can view the developer documents to help them integrate and help them build. We'll also be having courses that developers can go through and projects can go through to learn more about what you can do with the technology, how you can build with the technology. We'll also have in the interact section where developers can, the developer community, L1X developer community can interact with each other and communicate. We'll also have an improvement protocol, because what an improvement protocol is and why it's so important is because it takes a village, right, to build an ecosystem. And within that developer pool, that L1X developer pool, is there some great minds, and we know there will be some great minds building on L1X. So we want to give those great minds and those people that are committed to further growing the ecosystem and the protocol itself an opportunity to be able to present protocol improvements where they see an opportunity to even increase the usefulness and the utility of the in the use case that the infrastructure can provide. So there'll be multiple different areas where developers can go in. They can talk to other developers. They can talk to team. They can do courses. They can do developer documents, and this will evolve to be an extremely useful resource hub for building, for communication, and for protocol improvement proposals as well. And this hub will really be a core part of the ecosystem growth and the evolution of the protocol itself. And so that's the developer portal, and that'll be launching this week. Also from the I don't know if I swap I'll just swap tabs. Can you see the new tab here, Joe?
No, still same for me.
Okay, that's all right. So just before I move on to the project portal side, Kevin, is there anything you want to add in terms of the developer portal at all? Maybe I haven't covered.
Yeah. So the fundamental rationale for the developer portal is that we want to automate the process of development on the core. And number two is decentralize the development of the core up to an extent as well. And that is a gradual process. So we understand that, after 2015, the developers in Web3 have not actually seen any innovation, thanks to Ethereum for the smart contracts. But after that, we have not actually seen any innovation in the way multi-chain applications are built. So I would like to give an example over here as well, pretty quickly. So what a multi-chain application and how it makes it easier for developers with us versus how they can build with us is, let's say you have two different portals when you need to upload your documents, right? And I was giving this example to Matthew, which is on one portal you need to upload a JPEG file, and the other one you need to upload a PDF file, right? But the base that you have is, let's say, another format. Let's say it's PNG. Now, this is what happens when you want to go from EVM to non-EVM or EVM to any other, infrastructure. So what we have actually done is, rather than us going and integrating chains, we are going to open source the contract and the standardization of it, where the developers themselves can implement 20 lines of code, and that 20 lines of code is going to be able to detect, okay, if you want JPEG, this should be the resolution, this should be the requirements of that document. If it's PDF, it should be of this size, it should be of this many pages. And from one single contract, you can make multiple different permutations and combinations of it. So that is where the library to do that, where I don't even have to write those 20 lines of code. I can just say, go from PNG to JPEG, this resolution, right? That is important to be open sourced, so that the developers can come in and they can connect to Hyperledger, they can connect to any other different chains of their liking. And the developer portal is going to also provide a transparent wall between the community members and what's actually being built on the protocol. Because right now, for the next 6 months, where our focus is in stabilizing the core, which is making sure that the transactions work, the core is stable enough, it doesn't shut down. But at the same time, we want the other developers to think innovatively as well. So we will be putting up certain proposals that I think are required. For example, how do we create a Merkle tree with Bitcoin, for example, verification? So I have certain thoughts. I would like to put it up there, and if there are developer teams, they can pick it up and they can definitely build with us, where these kind of stuff our core team doesn't have to build, but the other guys can build it while we maintain the infrastructure for them. So this separation is where the developer portal is positioned towards, along with the fact that the roadmap, any documentation related stuff, and the community transparency is also available on the portal.
Yeah, and I think that can't be understated, the power of being able to hand the developer the power to connect any chain, right? And I don't think that's ever happened before, right? For the developer or a project to be able to go, okay, we want to integrate, NEAR protocol, we want to integrate Hyperledger, we want to integrate, various different infrastructures. Maybe there's a project that requires certain resources that another chain is. Maybe there's another chain that has blockchain-based LLMs for AI, right? So they want to tap into that. So, they can integrate there, and then the cross-chain messaging can happen into their protocol if they wish. If they want to access, if two deep-in projects, right, on separate chains want to integrate and communicate with each other. If NFT projects want to collaborate, there's so many different things that you can do by the ability to connect to other chains. And I think we talk about it, like we talked about this a while ago, but it really is each of these chains are these separate, separate economies where they have their own infrastructure, they have their own consumers and users, they have their own liquidity, they have their own applications. And now when you take that siloed environment and you start to bring that into an ecosystem of all these different economies, these blockchain economies, it just opens up the market for innovation, for collaboration, for so many different things. And so the ability that Kevin and the team are creating for developers to connect to any chain, I think is phenomenal. It really is. And once we start to see what developers do, please, Kevin.
Yeah, and again, you're right, Matthew. And again, it's important to also, like, because as a developer, you're thinking of two things as well when you're working, right? One is you're setting your base where I know certain things and I want to use them, versus I want to learn a little bit new things on a daily basis. And I want to learn it quick so that I can spend some time with my family. So there's the psychological aspect of the family as well at the back of the head. And that's why we have built the developer portal, so that they don't have to go at multiple places to find things. They can find it faster, so that they can focus on the implementation side of it straight away, rather than trying to find places for solution. And very soon, what we'll also do is we'll also integrate the ChatGPT model in there for L1X development, where we'll make the model understand what our contract types are. So even if there are developers, they want to modify a piece of contract, they could go and prompt it, and the modification could come through. And you can always test the contract on the local system. So it's saving time, but at the same time, it's allowing them to learn something new. So I think that positioning is important for us.
Yep, 100%. Mike, if you want to maybe go through the grants program that we're rolling out. I know you've got like an interface there, and also that's also the project interface as well, project panel. So if you may want to maybe share this to the interface, but maybe go through the grants program that's available for projects and developers, that'd be great.
Indeed, yes. Let's see what we can achieve. Okay. All right, it's not letting me share out. Give me a second. I'll try again.
Try sharing your whole screen.
Yep. Let's see how this goes. Nope, it's lost permission to actually share it. So no.
Matthew, you must be having the link.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah, let me see if I can share it, guys. Let me see if I can share it.
Yeah, it's not letting me.
I'll share it and you talk through it, Mike. So let's get in now.
Indeed.
So,
yep. So really, to start going through it, what we're introducing is a thing called the Layer1X, the ecosystem grants pool. Now, the objective behind it is for projects to earn grants and users for using Layer1X. Now, what we've done is we're running it as an airdrop program with the ability to incentivize performance, the interoperability, and exposure for projects and for users. So it's really an easy and rewarding way for users to experience the power of swapping coins between different chains using our bridgeless crosstalk technology. Now, we've spoken about that so often, that crosstalk, that the objective here now is for those projects and developers and also users to actually earn significant rewards participating in the cross-chain swap. How does the program really work? users will, I'm not going to go through all the details of it. It'll be coming out in the blog and also on the page that you're seeing here. So you can actually start following how to actually earn those rewards. But effectively, we're offering a number of things in there where there's going to be 50 million coins on offer, 25 million across the projects, 25 million across the user base as well. Now, users will be able to, projects will be able to earn from, say, the early adopter grant. That'll be 35,000 L1X, a base grant of 25,000, plus then airdrops based on the number of transactions that are going through from amounts of 50,000, 100,000, 500,000, 1 million transactions. And when the first 2 projects actually hit 5 million transactions, they'll receive the equivalent of $1 million worth of L1X. So it's a pretty significant program. Yes, we've got some things in there to stop people from spamming or scamming the whole program, so that we can make sure that it's fair for all of those that are doing it genuinely and adding users and transactions to the chain. That's the objective behind it. We want to be able to promote Layer1X and the capabilities we've got out there. I've been on a number of calls, and I was on one last night with a particular team that were based in Europe. And these guys are so excited. They said, we've got all these different projects on the go at the moment. It's a particular chain. And what they want to do is, they said to me last night, we're willing to put all of those on hold so we can integrate with Layer1X. They've got a massive community. I mean, it's absolutely huge. And they're willing to do that because they see the benefit of Layer1X. The whole idea behind the airdrop, what are we supporting? We're supporting cross-chain integration. We're supporting people to build on the Layer1X onto the core, and also to encourage those transactions cross-chain. What about who do we support? So we're really about supporting those innovative blockchain projects at various stages of development. You could be at the very beginning of your project. You could be sort of partway through it, ready to launch. You could be fully launched. The whole idea here is we want to encourage you to come across, bring across the community, bring across your users and your transactions. Your project could also be in the ideation stage. We do encourage you to apply for the ecosystem grants pool. It's there for people to use to build. The objective we've got there is to enable all of those cross-chain transactions, to enable it for everybody out there in the world. Like I said, we've got 50 million coins allocated. There's a 36-month lifespan across this. We're looking for that long-term support for those projects to enable them to achieve their goals. I'm not going to go through all the detail. Enough of that information is out there on the page that you had up on the screen, and also in the blog that we'll be releasing, so to give people a good understanding of the various capabilities that we're offering, and what you can bring across to Layer1X. The other one I wanted to probably talk about a little bit is around the NFT Launchpad and the marketplace. Now, what we're actually doing there is we're obviously encouraging those projects to come on board, and there's probably 2 areas in particular that we're focusing on. We've already got a number of DEXs out there. Matthew mentioned it before that we've got a couple of them building already. There's actually more sitting in the pipeline that want to build on us as well. But we want to also get out there with probably multiple launchpads actually in NFT marketplaces. They'll become the marketplace of marketplaces, where users will be able to transact across, say, things like the NFT marketplace, with their NFT collections, the games out there. Matthew mentioned before about the list of projects. Maybe I'll share that screen up in one day, give people an idea of the type of projects and who we're talking to, and the range of projects that we're talking to is absolutely massive. Just see if I can. I'll bring that up on my screen. I'm not going to share it across with you all just yet. But we've got gaming projects sitting there. We've got DAOs. We've got all sorts of different. Where is one here? Let me just see if I can. So we've got a single sign-on app that's been built from scratch. Does everything from cloud services, AI functionality, ERP, document creation and storage, video conferencing. They're actually going out there to bring off-chain companies onto crypto. These are the sort of projects that would be fantastic for the Launchpad. When we've got on calls, and I was on a call with this particular one, there were 7 different people from the CEO all the way down they're marketing out to billion-dollar companies across the US, Europe, etc., to be able to bring those capabilities on chain, and that's absolutely massive. Where is it? There's probably a couple others. So games. We've got NFT solutions out there for collectibles. There's multiple systems out there wanting to do that. We've actually got traditional finance companies that have approached us as well, wanting to move a lot of their assets onto chain and to tokenize those assets. That's actually something else that we've been working through. Another one was that I had a chat to quite a while ago now, was a mental health care solution. They're looking to get that information out there and to be able to tokenize that as well. There's a bit of work they've got to do, but fantastic concept. So many different games, marketplaces, DAOs I mentioned before. We've got one over in the UK that's really excited to join us. They're operating out of a university. So we've got other DEXs. Matthew's been talking to a number of those with one of our other partners that we've got in the pipeline. We'll be announcing very shortly, where they're coming across with the DEXs and DeFi products. Now, the other one that we've been working on is the white paper. Now, Kevin and the team and Dr. Neeraj over in India and have been adding a little bit to the white paper, to the point that we're now sitting at, the last count, it was about 196 pages. So we've gone from 119 to 196. Now, the detail that the guys have gone into in that around how users can actually utilize Layer 1X, about things like the, obviously native token transfers, smart contract deployment, the function calls, staking, unstaking, lending and borrowing. It's just some of the features that they've gone through in this in the white paper is absolutely huge. There's a section in there on crosstalk versus bridges, so a comprehensive comparison for to show that blockchain interoperability. The things that they've gone in, the level of detail they've gone into this is phenomenal. The database driver abstraction, the diversity of databases around Postgres, RocksDB, Cassandra that we can now Kevin and the team have integrated into it. The Oracle system. For those that don't understand oracles, do a little bit of research around it, but they're essentially an ability for us to bring data from an external source, such as pricing information from an outside entity, and to actually present that on chain as close to live as possible as the other systems allow. We start going into some of the EVM instances that empowers our EVM and non-EVM capability. So the stuff that's in that white paper, I know Crypto Psycho tried to do actually run a number of YouTube videos on the actual white paper. I think he's going to have to add a bunch more now. There's also a bit in there around the multi-chain balancer pool. So it's well worth a read. A lot of it is has been inserted into the white paper that will actually enable our users to understand things a lot more about what our capability is. And that's probably about it from me. Matthew, was there anything else you wanted me to cover off?
Yeah, I think just with the grants program as well, just to add a little bit more detail to that, is that it's split up into the grants itself. So you've got early adopter grant, you've got base grant, and then you've got the airdrops, right, which are the performance grants where users interacting can earn projects and users airdrops. You've got performance from the project itself can earn airdrops. And so the focus really on the early adopter phase is really working and supporting 8 core projects. And in the next phase, which is the base phase, after that is 12 core projects, right? And like these, we're with the grants program, when we bring those projects in, we're looking for those projects that are wanting to use that multi-chain ability, right, of Layer 1X. And probably when I talk about, when you look at what you could build on Layer 1X and some of the, popular applications on a lot of blockchains, I think Mike mentioned them. So for example, Launchpad, for example, NFT marketplace. What's different about a Launchpad built on Layer 1X? What's different about an NFT marketplace built on Layer 1X? And if you're a team looking to build that, or if you have an existing one that you want to migrate and tap into these multi-chain functions, I'll just speak a little bit about some of what the technology could do with maybe those two examples, right? A launchpad and an NFT marketplace. And this is just from our own input, but obviously developers, when they read the documentation, they might even see other use cases. So when you look at, let's take a launchpad, for example. So a launchpad built on Layer 1X really could help launch projects that are built anywhere, because you can build anywhere and you can raise anywhere. So you could be building on Layer 1X, you could be a project, building on BNB, ETH, Arbitrum, Solana, any chain that we're connected to, or even if we're not connected to, but you can be building anywhere, and then you can accept funds into that launchpad from any other chain, right? So really it provides access when you're launching on a launchpad, or you're building a launchpad on Layer 1X. You can actually promote multiple different projects building anywhere, build anywhere, raise anywhere with a launchpad. If you're a team looking to build a launchpad and you want to create some sort of benefits through the incubation phase, a lot of launchpads want to provide, they get affiliates like marketing teams, third-party marketing teams to help these projects. They get potential market maker partners. What Layer 1X can provide are certain key features, like, for example, a project launching on Layer 1X may want to implement a widget onto their site where now their coin directly from their site, people can purchase that particular project's coin that is launched through the launchpad from any chain, right? So they've got access straight on their site for users to purchase their coin from any chain. Or they may want to be able to deploy on Layer 1X and have that particular project coin issued on any chain that we're connected to. So now they can issue those coins anywhere. And so really what it does, it allows their user base to expand across all the chains we're connected to and any other chains they wish to connect. And it also allows access for users to that project to be able to use liquidity from any other chain as well. So these are just a couple of the things that a launchpad built on a Layer 1X can do. An NFT marketplace, for example, if you're a team looking to migrate or build an NFT marketplace with the technology, you could have a marketplace on L1X where you place that NFT from any chain for sale on L1X, but at the same time, you could build in a function in the application which allows the user to also place their NFT on other marketplaces, OpenSea, Magic Eden, at the same time as well. And so where the NFT now is exposed to multiple different marketplaces, let's say it's sold on one of these marketplaces, as soon as it's sold, the smart contract logic talks to each other cross-chain, removes the other NFTs, burns them, and hands over the NFT to the new purchaser. So really it is this omni-chain marketplace, this omni-chain launchpad that the technology allows. And so it's that sort of innovative thinking and projects that are willing to be innovative with the interoperability that we're looking for. And those fundamental projects like launchpads, NFT marketplaces, all those things are interesting to us in terms of the grants program as well. Other than that, I think that's pretty much everything. Pretty much everything to cover from that side.
I'll just like to add on the project side a bit. On top of what Mike and Matthew mentioned, I think there are two fundamental aspects of projects on Web3 that I think we are focusing upon. The first one is that not a lot of money in terms of grants are actually positioned towards projects going multi-chain. I haven't heard of any grant. So I think the grant program that L1X is supporting and providing is probably the first layer 1 multi-chain grant program out there, right? And since we are the first people to even allow projects to be a part of the grant program to go multi-chain, I think it definitely will be an advocate for projects looking to go multi-chain and building on L1X, because the first thing the projects do, of course, the technology, but also where are the grants available, and that's okay, it's like me as well. But anyways, on the second side of things, what's also an important aspect over there, apart from the grant, is when a layer one is trying to provide a grant, there is the revenue that they make through the transaction fees, and then there is a incentive. So this ratio is ridiculous in certain chains. For example, Polkadot making 100 grand and spending 100 million. So this ratio is on a long-term basis is going to be detrimental to the health of the protocol and to the health of the coin. So we have divided the grant program into two different parts, saying that the first 20 projects, that actually build, not that everyone comes and build, but the first 20 projects that actually move towards the direction of 1 million active users and 5 billion transactions on a multi-chain aspect will be promoted and advocated for. And these projects should already have existing users. So that's what the first 20 projects are focusing upon. And the next one is any project out there that provides transaction fees, and based on the transaction fees, the airdrop or the performance is calculated. And if the transaction fees are incremented or increased over a period of time, it is excellent for the health of the protocol, making it self-sustainable. But at the same time, it provides a loyalty system towards the users and to the projects that we should actually be using these projects in the ecosystem. Now, of course, I look back to my previous experience being the first person in Australia to actually start a blockchain-based rewards program. And I think this is an important thing where the refro or the project's loyalty can be advocated towards. And out of those 20, we already have certain people building fundamental projects like the DEX is there, NFT marketplaces are there, the gaming projects are there, the Launchpad is there, and to make it more simple, we have also taken a look at how the projects and the dev portal correlate with each other, because as a project, you are doing three things on multi-chain. You are trying to send data from one place to the other, right? The next one is you are trying to actually create certain instructions towards assets, saying that if I have FT here and I have NFT there, then you should do something, when the assets move. And the third one is I want to host my assets at all the places, and then I want to make sure that the ability to exchange assets or information from one place to the other or access the users are done in a logical way. So these three development standards are also being pushed towards these 20 projects, and we already have the development toolkit for it. So we are trying to create this hand-in-hand approach towards the toolkit or the developer area and the projects by combining both of them with the grants program. So the grants program is the focal point of the connection between the developer toolkit or the development and the project onboarding, so that it pushes both of these things together.
Yeah, 100%. And so if you're a project, existing project, and you're wanting to tap into multi-chain users, liquidity, collaboration across multiple different chains, EVM and non-EVM, this is a perfect environment to be able to do it in. And so we look forward to those applications coming in, and we're excited to see them. We've already got some already in as well, which is excellent. Like Kevin said, I think we've had 1,500 downloads now of the documents that he put out there. So from the next step as well is, do you want to give any updates around anything else, any node hosting or anything like that?
So we've already covered the projects and the developer, environment. There are two main updates that I would probably speak about. The first one is towards the node hosting, and also the ability for the Xtalk nodes. So this month, probably in the next week, end of next week, you'll be able to host the nodes, and the people that are actually going to host the nodes, their block rewards are already kept, where they will be given that from the month of April onwards. So April and May, you will get your block rewards immediately. And these block rewards, again, are unvested, as we already know. And these block rewards will be given out to you probably in the next 1 to 2 weeks maximum once you start hosting the nodes. So I won't get into the detail of the type of nodes and what you're going to host, but on the Xtalk nodes infrastructure, probably by the end of the month, we are aiming for the Xtalk nodes to be hosted out as well. There are a few changes we are making towards the Xtalk infrastructure to make it more faster, as the L1X core is already quick. But probably by the end of the month or beginning of next month is when we are focusing towards the Xtalk. This month, we are focusing on the distribution of the coins, the node hosting, as the important aspect there. On the other side of things, we'll have the updated white paper version 3 out, and also the Explorer updates, where the wallet profiler, the L1X core profiler, and also seeing the cross-chain transactions in the core profiler. And we'll also have the distributor, which is if you put in your wallet address, you exactly know, what coins you're going to get over a period of time from what sources. So refro, investments, it can be rewards, and you could, export that into an Excel sheet as well. So I think this pretty much covers this month, and I don't think we should take out more than that as well. But for this month, that's the objective.
Yeah, and also, as well, just to add to that, for projects wanting to build, there is the grants program, but just because you may not be, for example, eligible for the grants, doesn't mean you can't build. Right? The dev portal is there. The dev portal is there. The toolkit is there for you to be able to build and start to tap in and interact within the dev community as well when that opens up this week, to be able to then go ahead and start building in the ecosystem. Another thing running this month as well, which we launched, I think a few days ago now, is the Token Builder campaign. So just for those who have already interacted with the Token Builder campaign, I know the dev team are working on some of the issues with token creation. Everything that'll be solved within the next, say, 24 to 48 hours. But the campaign is running all month. And so we've got plenty of time to go in, mint your own fungible token or your own non-fungible token. Obviously, get your username if you haven't got one already to be able to do that. And then people can start to vote on that. Let me just share my screen if I can. Maybe I just want to show a few of the creations that have been made so far. So I'll just see if I can share my screen to go through these as well. Let's have a look here. So here we go. Maybe not. 1 second. Let me go. I've got so many screens up. Let's have a look if we've got the right one. So, this is it. Cool. Can you guys see that screen now?
Yep, sure can.
Yeah, cool. So I'll just show you some of them. So we've had some pretty cool tokens created by the community already in there. I think some of these are also a few meme ideas. No points for guessing who created the Super Beans NFT, but that looks pretty cool as well. But we've already got quite a few in there these are just some of them that have already been created. So to talk a little bit about what is the Token Builder competition that we're running throughout May, it's where you can get yourself an L1X username. And so, for example, if you've already got a username, so basically you go into the on the home screen, you can see the airdrop tab there. For this airdrop campaign, you go into that. If you haven't already got a username, you can always select to go out and grab your own username. The prerequisite is to have a username to be able to mint. There's also plenty of benefits for the username as well. But once you do have that username, then you can actually go in and there's a blog on this as well. We can on our socials or jump into Discord, we'll be able to share the information link to the blog. But once you've got that username and you buy it through your MetaMask, you just import that MetaMask into your X-Wallet Chrome extension, connect your X-Wallet, and then you can go ahead and start to mint through this screen as well. And once you've minted, then you can see your tokens minted here, and then people can vote. So what is the competition? The competition is this. You mint a fungible token or a non-fungible token through the token builder. Once you've done that and you share that on Twitter to show what you've minted, then you're automatically eligible for a airdrop of 500 L1X coins daily. So there's one prize winner per day of the 500 L1X coins. As you can see here, we've already got winners here for the daily. But there is big prizes as well. I'm talking big. And so basically, if you get the most votes, so there's first, second, and third for the most votes that have been voted on your particular token creation. If you get the most votes, then you're eligible to you'll be winning 100,000 L1X coins. Yep, 100,000 L1X coins for the top one, 75,000 L1X coins for the second most voted, 50,000 L1X coins for the third most voted, and there is a random that will be selected, a random token creation that will be selected, and that random winner will win 25,000 L1X coins. So who is this available to? Pretty much anybody. So for example, if you're a community member and you want to mint a token on here and you want to get the community behind it, you can go ahead, you can share it with the community, share it on your own socials to get people to vote. If you're a KOL and you have or an influencer, you have a large following, and you want to be able to involve your community in the vote, you mint your own an NFT or a token. You can put a description of it. You can then send the link to your community to come and vote. And once again, if you've got the most votes, you're eligible for the big prizes: 100,000, 75,000, or 50,000. Right? And even if you don't in the top three, you still have a random chance of 25,000 large prize. But obviously, there's the daily airdrops as well. So there's plenty of ways to win. If you're a project, right, and you're wanting to launch on Layer 1X, you can go on to the token, get your username, go on to the token builder, mint an NFT, get your community or get your network to vote on that. And then if you're a project winning this, then we can always talk to you about maybe using some of the prize winnings to create your initial liquidity pool on Layer 1X for you to then be able to use that to be able to launch your project on Layer 1X as well. So there's a couple of cool ways that you can win. It's really, the opportunity is out there for community members, KOLs, projects, anybody really that wants to take advantage of minting an interoperable token on Layer 1X and then getting their followers or their network to vote so they can be in the running for the large prizes. And that'll be running all the way up to the end of the month. As you can see, 24 days I think we've got here left stated up there, so all the way to the end of the month. So get in, create your token. As I said, the dev team are working through any of the issues that people are having over the next 24 to 48 hours, but go in, mint your token, put it out there in the crypto sphere to your network and your community to vote, and then you can be in the draw for some pretty major prizes. So that's something exciting that be running through the month of May as well. So to get people interacting and minting tokens on Layer 1X as part of this airdrop competition. Other than that, I think that's covering a lot of the stuff that we wanted to today. I thought Kevin.
Yeah, sorry. I'll just, I've got three things to say on the token builder. The first one is right now we have the L1X VM, but we'll have the L1X EVM over there as well. And there are two unique aspects about that first point, which is the first one is right now the token building is free for the username, owners, and there will be a lot of like these transactions that will be free of cost for the username, holders. But the cost of actually minting that L1X VM FT or NFT token is 0.0039. So it's less than even Gnosis chain, which is supposed to be, entirely cost effective. And if you compare it, if you compare the same to, let's say, Polygon, it would be 0.05 cents on Polygon and all the way up to $30 on Ethereum. But we are, focusing on making it economical for people to build. But at the same time, the existing token builders on EVM, right, when we release the L1X EVM as well, I don't think I've come across any token builder on EVM that lets you build a token for that price. So even for the cost effectiveness, we can definitely compete there. The second one is right now the token that you build will have the feature where you can extend that token to multi-chain. So either you build it on L1X VM or EVM, you'll be able to take that token multi-chain and if you have, let's say, 100 or 10,000 supply, you would be able to distribute that supply across the other chains as well. And the third one, as Matthew mentioned about the projects, once you mint your token, you get your token address. You can use the wallet SDK and the CLI tools, which is already open sourced, to start integrating it in your project. So at the same time, like, you don't have to go and code, just mint the token, and then any developer or any person ever used hard hat before can start using that to deploy it on their website using the L1X toolkit.
Yeah, awesome. And let me backtrack a little bit, because I noticed, I just looked at the comments now and I see some people mentioning their tokens. So let me just quickly do another little screen share here, if I can. 1 second. So I think these are the ones that maybe some of the people have mentioned. So we've got Skippy. I think I wanted to mention that because someone's mentioned that in the channel. We've got Super Beans, and we've got the BeardX guys as well, all in there. So I just thought I'd give some honorable mentions to some of the tokens that have also already been created. So it's cool, guys. Well done to get involved. And exciting stuff with the token builder itself, and the ability to be able to mint cheaply on L1X and then distribute from there, I think is also a game changer for a lot of projects as well. I think that's covering most of the details that we want to go through today. Maybe Kevin, maybe we want to end with a little bit of a look into the future for L1X. We started this AMA, with the journey up until now, and I think it's a major milestone. But can you give us a little bit of insight into maybe what we can expect in 2024?
Yeah, I think the first part is that when we are open sourcing this, the coin is going to be out there, tradable. One thing to understand, right, even in my previous experience in an ASX company, is that the price of the coin is not the company, and the company is not the price of the coin. So even if it goes to, I don't know, X, I don't think it's a direct representation of the technology. But what I would say is that the vision and the purpose is to build utility, focus on the core infrastructure now that these things are out of the way. And once the core infrastructure is adopted by projects and there is a progress there will come a point in time where, even though if this project is considered to be undervalued, there will be people looking at the project and going, all right, this is the time to really explode this project. And we have seen that with other layer ones out there as well. So you've had patience over a period of time. Let's now focus on the core infrastructure, making it robust so that people can come and build. Whatever we said in the white paper in 2021, we have actually built that, and we have proven that it actually works. So I think now is the time where we stabilize that technology and let other people build on it gradually, and not be too concerned about the price of the coin, because that's not even a direct representation of the community, right? So thank you for all your support until now. But as we move into the next phase, please support us again, where I think now we need your support the most. Like, these are like the labs where we need the support the most. But yeah, it's been an amazing journey, and I think for me, I'm just getting started with it. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And Cody, Mike, do you want to add anything as well to that? I'm probably taking Joe's role here.
Decentralized. Yeah.
No, it's all good. You guys, well said. Amen.
Covered
Cheers to a good launch. All right.
Now, I'd like to say a little bit about Cody over here as well. Of course, Joe has been an amazing, coordinator with things. As always, you all know about Joe. But with Cody, I'd like to say one thing, which is, I always have, Cody and I always have, friction when we speak with each other, because we've got these ideas around like how to do this the best. But I've seen Cody work sleepless nights on his Red Bull. I posted that picture as well on his tweet. I retweeted that. But in terms of experience and the design, I think on the L1X app or the developer portal or the project panel, even the new updated website that's coming up, it's all Cody's work. And with the resources that were available on the design team, I don't really think anyone else except Cody could have led that in a better way and have also implemented that on time, considering the delays that I've always had with him. But yeah, Cody's done an amazing job there.
No, it's all love. It's all love, right, Kevin? That's the only way we're going to get better is if we can come together and share our point of views. But at the end of the day, Kevin and I always come to an agreement on things, and I'm always championing the community. Kevin's always championing the business, and so we're going to find that happy medium, guys. So don't worry about that. We're going to build some cool shit. That's for sure.
Yeah. I echo that as well. I think with all the team members, everyone, the common ground that everyone has within the team is the success of the protocol and the success of the community that are around the protocol, and that's at the forefront of anyone within the team, right? And that's what we're focusing on. And I today is a major milestone, launch day. As I said before, just to cover some of the specific details, is that the vesting will and the transferability of the coins in the wallet will start around 4 p.m. AWST. So I'll just repeat that, 4 p.m. AWST, which I think is 8 a.m. UTC. That will start. In terms of tradability on the first exchange, which is Bitmart, that tradability, so buying, selling, trading on Bitmart will start to occur at 1 p.m. UTC. And we are almost finalized with the integration with Mexi as well, and so we look forward to announcing that, and then the rollout of other centralized exchanges over the coming weeks and months as well as we continue to grow. But in terms of growth, in that sense, the focus is on the core and building an ecosystem on top of that core through the developers, and that's going to be the core. That really, I think, is the exciting part of the next weeks, months, and years, is to see the evolution of the ecosystem and what gets connected and integrated with the ONX tech.
Ready to jump in here before Matthew steals all my wrap-up thunder. Unbelievable. It's going to be my gag. I even had the time worked out of when UTC was. Unbelievable. Robbed me. That's okay. I know that you guys obviously have got a lot of stuff to do in the background too, so we'll keep the wrap-up real short. Obviously, we've got to look into the future. We've got everything coming up, and I know the guys have a lot of stuff still left to do in the office before we can really get this kicked off. So we won't hold them back too much with our standard AMA questions, and obviously they've always been very accommodating with us to be able to go through heaps of questions at the end of it. So for today, we'll leave that and then jump off and get to some work very shortly. But once again, huge thanks from the community. I think today's the day. It really is the moment, and this is where all everything comes together. Everything comes together, and now we move forward. Now we grow the ecosystem. Now we grow the community. So from us to you guys, to all the exec team, to everybody in the office as well that obviously isn't as front facing, to all the devs, and everybody in the background that makes all this happen. A big thanks from the community to you, and then obviously from the team, a big thanks from us to the community. So it's go time now. Let's look to wrap this up and let everybody get back to it and heads down and bums up, as they say. And we will see you all very soon. I imagine there'll be some impromptu lives. I'm sure Crypto Cycle will be around for another 24-hour stint because he loves to annoy his wife like that. So we'll see you on something in the next couple of hours as well. We'll be about, but we'll look to wrap that there. Thanks everybody. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being a part of the community, and we'll see you all very soon for the rest of launch day.
Thank you, everybody. Happy launch day.
Happy launch day.
See ya. Cheers.